What if I told you the slowest part of your website has nothing to do with your code or your server's power? It's distance, pure physical distance. And what if I told you that in the next 5 minutes, you'll learn exactly how to conquer that distance and make your application feel instant to anyone, anywhere in the world? The secret is caching. Think of it like this. Instead of traveling thousands of miles to a central library for a book every time, you keep a copy at your local branch. Caching stores copies of your data in locations closer to your users. When a user requests that data, they get the nearby copy, which is dramatically faster. But not all caches are the same. We have 3 primary layers to work with: the application layer, the edge, and the Content Delivery Network, or CDN. Let's start from the inside out. First up is application-level caching. This happens right inside your server's own ecosystem. It's the cache closest to your code and your database. Imagine a complex database query that calculates the top 10 products. Instead of running that heavy calculation every single time a user visits, you run it once and store the result in the application cache. The next user who asks for it gets the pre-calculated answer instantly, without ever touching the database. This is perfect for things like frequently accessed user profiles, configuration settings, or the results of expensive computations. It saves processing power and time. But this still requires the user's request to travel all the way to your origin server. To solve that, we move to our next layer, the edge. Edge caching involves placing smaller, more nimble versions of your application logic on servers that are geographically closer to your users, often in the same city or region. These aren't just for static files. Edge servers can run code, handle API requests, and make dynamic decisions without needing to phone home to the original server. So a user in Los Angeles might have their request handled by an edge server in LA, while a user in New York is served by one in New York. This massively reduces network latency, the time it takes for data to travel. The user experience becomes snappier and more responsive, especially for dynamic, interactive content. Now, for the final outermost layer, which handles the bulk of your content, the Content Delivery Network, or CDN. This is the global powerhouse of caching. A CDN is a massive, globally distributed network of servers that store copies of your static assets. These are files that don't change often. Think images, videos, CSS files, and JavaScript libraries. When a user in Brazil visits your website, the CDN delivers the images from a server in Sao Paulo, not from your origin server in Ireland. This offloads huge amounts of traffic from your main server and delivers content at blazing speeds. The browser automatically knows to fetch these files from the closest CDN server, making it a foundational strategy for any modern website or application. So how do these 3 layers, application, edge, and CDN, work together? They form a cascade, or a waterfall of caching. A user's request first hits the outermost layer, the CDN. If the CDN has a cached copy of the content, like a JPEG image, it serves it directly. Done. If it's a request the CDN can't handle, like a dynamic API call, it passes it inward to the next layer, the edge. The edge node might be able to process the request and return a response without ever bothering the origin server. Another win for speed. And only if both the CDN and the edge can't satisfy the request does it finally travel all the way to your origin server. Once there, your server will check its own application-level cache first before resorting to an expensive database operation. Each layer protects the one inside it. By implementing this multi-layered caching strategy, you gain incredible benefits. First, a massive increase in speed and a better user experience. Second, improved reliability and scalability. If your origin server goes down, the CDN and edge can often continue serving cache content, keeping your site partially online. And third, significant cost savings. By serving traffic from the cache, you reduce the load on your expensive origin servers and lower your bandwidth bills. So don't let distance be your bottleneck. By strategically placing copies of your data and logic closer to your users, you can build faster, more resilient, and more efficient applications. Start analyzing your application today to see where you can apply these caching layers. If you found this helpful, hit subscribe for more web performance tips. Thanks for watching.